Hey everybody, this is MD Anderson, recording again from the Motorhome Studios. I took a little bit of time this last week and reorganized it again. I mentioned a couple weeks ago I'd organized it. I really didn't like it at all, so I've made it hopefully to be a little bit more productive for all the things I'm trying to get done. A couple weeks ago I mentioned how I was really close to getting Dragonize Your Dragon Eyes into audio format for audible.com. But I did mention if I didn't like it, I would redo the whole thing. And after trying to put it together, edit it, I didn't like it at all. So I'm redoing it again. And that's just one of those things with patience. I'm not fond of patience most of the time. It's something that really annoys me because as long as you don't have patience, you never get what you want. But then as soon as you have patience, it seems like you get it almost immediately, and then you don't need the patience anymore. So it's kind of paradoxical of whether you need it and why you have it, and it just, to me, that's just kind of bothersome. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple others out there who feel the same way with patience, and that's why we just don't want it to have it because we don't need it until after we have it. It's just annoying because once you have what you have, you're no longer need to be patient. I've done a lot of work on getting the motorhome a little bit more acoustically sound. I had been going to the college, trying to record all my stuff there, but it just seemed like I couldn't get things to be consistent enough. The microphone sounded far away or hollow, like I was in a cave, because it is just sheetrock walls, glass on the other sides, so the sound really bounced around the room a lot, so it had a little bit of an echo. But in the process of it, I did learn a lot more about Audacity. It's a great open source program that I've been recording the books into. And I learned how to use some filters and some effects, because at the college, the jets from Luke Air Force Base, they would take off and they would just create a constant rumble. As much as I love the sound of freedom, just rumbling through the room, it was rather annoying when it was at the time I was trying to get something done. But don't they realize that national security, I'm trying to record? But I think I would rather have the rumbling instead of my recording, because I can make adjustments better than the NSA can, or the Air Force. But now, with the changes in the motorhome, I feel like I've learned enough to better make it acoustically sound. What's funny is that the microphone comes in this. It's a neat little microphone. And I get the pop, and I don't have a popper stopper. So I actually just put the microphone inside this, and the felt on this, it feels really good. I love the feel of felt. That's funny, feel of felt. But this has been a great popper stopper. Probably not the best. It couldn't be as good as a professional one, I'm sure. But it's doing the job. I'm very pleased with the outcome. Because I was learning how to do the effects from the filters, I can get all that buzz noise out of the recording. So again, I'm working from the very beginning of Dragonize Your Dragon Eyes. I really hope to get it done before the seminars start, which I'm getting so excited about. I've got more ideas. I swear I don't sleep very well at night because I just have so many ideas. One of the quotes at the end of Dragonize Your Dragon Eyes is a Sliverballs quote. And it says, "Why do my best ideas come at 3 a.m.? Don't they know I'm trying to sleep?" So sometimes I get really frustrated with my own ideas because it's not at the convenient timing. But it is worth the time to lose a little sleep over progress. As well, last week I went over the monitor of the Fiero. It was a lot of fun tearing the monitor apart. So let's head on out to the Fiero real quick, and I'll give you a little update in just a second. Okay, just for a really quick blurb of the Fiero update, I was able to get quite a bit done. Here you'll see, this is an old motherboard, and the power supply, speakers, a couple hard drives, and a keyboard. Down here I have an old power inverter and a battery, which needed charging. So when I turn that on, so I have nothing but battery power running into the car right now. My fan nicely spins up. Sorry about the cord in the way, but nothing's set at the moment. So you can see so far that the computer is running based on strict battery power. And I'm going to be redoing all of this for the car, because this is an old, this computer is the old Loop program that ran the videos for these monitors that I mentioned last week. So I'm going to quickly type in my password. Well, you can't see it. And of course, it's running a little bit of an older version of Ubuntu because this was last updated a year ago. There, you can see my mouse is moving. But I'm going to be reconfiguring this whole screen. Of course, there's nothing on the hard drive. Yeah, you can see it was the old reception computer at the gym. So you can see that the whole computer is working. It's just a small battery. It doesn't put out much amps. So after about 3 hours of running the computer, it will wear down. So let's go ahead and turn that off. Let's move this a little out of the way, so I can show how I've mounted this in here. Because last week I didn't have the screen. You notice I put the border back on because after looking at it, I thought it was kind of ugly. I was like, what can I do to make that not so ugly? So I put the border back on, and I made the hole bigger behind the dash, and I just cut it around there, and I mounted the electronics onto the back of the actual screen, made sure that there was an insulator between it and the metal of the actual screen. But this big hole allows me to better get back behind. Let's see if I can see back there. Cool. Well, that's going to be beneficial when I start putting the vents in there. Currently, that is the progress on the Fiero, and I've been very excited. But to run this, another open source program that I'm going to use. It's called Qt, capital Q and T. So now, to achieve my agenda of making this car completely digital, I am going to be learning how to do code. Learning how to, well, a different code. I know HTML and HTML5, and I know so many different programs as far as scripting. I love my CMS programs for all the websites for WinterPix, Phoenicia Bright, Dragon Bells, and Zipperhead. So those are the 4 websites that I've created based off of the Dragon Bell series. And so I do know quite a bit of code, but I've never ever created a program. So this past week in my searching, studying, and preparing to be able to make a cool GUI, which is GUI, which means Graphical User Interface, so that I can have a really cool display inside the car on that 19-inch monitor. So with all of this, I hope that you all have another great week.